Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Wednesday. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Wednesday, guys. Happy new season. Happy new year. So I have 20 things I want to share with you guys. 20 downloads I received in regards to going into the new year. Right before I hit record, I saw the unfortunate incident that happened in New Orleans where 10 people have lost their lives literally right after bringing in the new year. So my spirit is a little, down, but just work with me. Just the empath in me. It's the empath in me. But I feel like these 20 things are going to be an example on why we must make sure that we are in proper alignment, because things are going to get more crazy. More crazy. Let's start with number one. I'm going to try to keep count, or try not to. I don't know. Self-preservation. Listen, at the end of the day, a lot of the things that follow this is going to really tie in with self-preservation. But at the end of the day, it's really about taking care of yourself, mind, body, and soul. We got to get to the point, chosen ones, empaths especially, right, where we are taking care of ourselves, putting ourselves first. It's going to be crucial because we are going to be literally frontliners. We are, but already are, but you get the point here. Things are going to get crazy. We're going to be frontliners, and we got to get to the point where we are literally protecting ourselves, mind, body, and soul for different reasons. It is your time to start, our time to start putting ourselves first. Chosen ones, empath, highly sensitive people, people pleasers. We have spent a lifetime of putting everybody in front of ourselves. Number two, many of us will see the full manifestation of the promise. The full manifestation. Some of you guys are already kind of like in due season, so you might have your hands like kind of in and out of it. But many of you will see the full manifestation from God, right? You're in alignment to receive it, but you will see the full manifestation of God this year. And it's going to look different for a lot of people. So don't get put off or turned off if it doesn't look exactly again what you thought, the vision that you had, right? The promise is, but it's not going to be all fun and cute like the way you thought. It's going to be work. It's going to be, right? All that good stuff. Number three, release and forgive. Release and forgive. This is crucial. Coming from a person who don't, forgiveness is not my strong point, right? But I'm so much better. But you got to get to the point. Some of you guys are holding on to grudges that were 20 plus years ago. You got to get to the point where you trust God enough that God will handle people. I promise you, God will take care of the people who wronged you. That's something that's between them and God. But ask God to give you the strength to release and forgive. Again, forgiveness does not equate to reconciliation. You can forgive somebody truly from your heart and never speak to them again. Don't get it twisted. But you're blocking your own blessings when you're holding on to grudges that, and granted, I mean, you may have every right to feel the way you feel, right? Because they may have really burnt you real bad, right? But the point is, you're blocking your own blessings. God is trying to get things to you, but He can't because you got this block. It's like a block in the spiritual realm. So ask God for strength to forgive and release people and let God handle people the way He chooses. He'll teach them the lesson. Your grudge is not. Your grudge is only hurting you. He will teach them the lesson. Next thing, I'm looking at my notepad, so I have my phone keep going out here. You're going to start receiving downloads, let that be dreams or whatever. I got one last night, and I'm not even like a dreamer like that, but I got one last night. You're going to start receiving downloads, you already probably got some, but you're going to receive more of people who you're going to be in partnership with. It's almost like he's going to, and some of these people have already been in your life prior, like you may have kind of met them, let's say randomly 3 years ago, you guys exchanged numbers, never spoke again, and he's going to bring certain people back to your spirit. These people are somehow going to be tied into your destiny. So they're going to be partnerships. Like one person may be like a cameraman, like, okay, so you may have met this gentleman, right, at the wherever you've been at, and you exchange numbers, and nothing never like hit it off. It's almost like, man, you feel like, oh, why did I meet this random person? He asked for my number, or vice versa. Nothing never like, that was weird because the chemistry was never there, right? And all of a sudden this person comes back to your spirit, right? There may be a certain assignment that how God is going to use that person. So you didn't meet them randomly for no reason. The enemy may have tried to confuse it to make you think like this is going to be your wife or this is going to be your husband, right? So you might have been locked on to that. But now that God have released you from that, he's going to start giving you new insight. No. I'm going to be calling you to different countries. You're going to need a camera person. You're going to need a person who's one of those real solid prayer partners, things like that. So you're going to start getting different downloads about who belongs where, right? Mind your business. The next one, mind your business in this new year. Mind your, listen, and it doesn't even matter if people include you in their business. Mind your business, because as chosen ones and empath, when we get involved, we get too overly involved, right? It might be something simple, and then we overexert ourselves trying to fix people, trying to make the situation right. Excuse me. Mind your business. This is about self-preservation in this season. Let people find their own way in life. You will know who you're called to. You will know there are specific people that you're called to. You are not, never mind, because that's further down. I don't want to get too far in that because I'm going to be talking about that one too. Next thing. So yeah, mind your business. Next, boundaries. Whatever your boundaries are, right? You are going to need boundaries because you're going to need strength in this season. We are going to, like, those of us who've been like annoyed because we were sitting in like solitude or seasons of like stillness and things like that. Oh, you about to work, honey. You about to work. You're about to work. So get ready, honey. You've been complaining about being tired of resting, or you're about to work, right? So boundaries are crucial because you're going to need every inch of strength. Next one. Do the things you, all cap, you want to do. These look like things on your bucket list. This is enjoying life. Travel more if that's what you want to do. What is your thing? Take that first cruise. What is on your bucket list? Right? Think about these people just from last night. Like, we don't know. We really don't know. We can have all these plans all we want about saving for retirement and saving to be sure you go into one of the best assistant living homes because you don't want to put that burden on your children and all this. Like, it's cool, right? That's smart planning. But at the end of the day, we really don't know. Live your best life right now. We have dedicated our lives, right, for the most part of our lives, to everybody else. And granted now, you still have to do that too, just depending on, I'm speaking about us overexerting ourselves, right? Not who we're called to. Start enjoying your life. What is one thing, I challenge you, matter of fact, comment and let me know, what is one thing that you want to do that you've never done and you've always wanted to do it? Next thing, release the old because the new is coming. Those of you who are hanging on to old things, this can be old relationships, old friendships, old communities, I don't know, just whatever's old, right? But you know that season is up. There is no question, right? Because if there's a question, you got to wait that out until God makes it extremely clear. I'm speaking more about the people who that season is up, and God has been requiring you to release certain people, release certain things, release certain mindsets. There is no way in the world God can bring the new in when the old is still there. You got to be okay with releasing the old and trusting that even if you don't physically see the new, being okay knowing that God is going to bring the new. The new is going to be what you need, all caps, need in this season. The old was truly just there because you were comfortable, right? Had the soul is toxic, but you're comfortable, right? Is all you know, even though it's my phone keep. I should write. The only time I write things down is when I have like a list of things, and I use my notepad this time, and my phone keeps going out, so I gotta keep logging back in with my code. There's let that lingering stuff go. Those of you who've been you done, honey, you done been divorced 75 years. You You've been divorced 75 years, and you still got those pics. This man, now, y'all are divorced, honey. This man now remarried. You still got your wedding dress photo up in the living room. Your whole house is literally a museum, right? You gotta listen. Spirits exist. You gotta throw things away, right? Or get you a storage unit, if you're sentimental like that, right? That's me too. I hold on to sentimental things until I get a conviction to release certain things, because it might be something that I'm holding on to from an unhealthy standpoint. And so when God convicts me to get rid of it, I be in my feelings, but I do it because I know that it's holding something up. Sometimes you got lingering spirits around you because you're holding on to things in memories. And child, it's been 85 years, honey. Let them stuff go. Let them stuff go. Whew. Okay, next thing. Oh, all day, every day. Listen, this is the rise of the underdog. This is the rise of the underdog. Those of you who feel like people who are doing things the wrong way got like ahead, like maybe some chicks who got million dollar homes because they got OnlyFans, or like some dudes who in that street, like they got way more than you, but you've been doing things the right way. Like even when it felt unfair, this is the rise of the underdogs. This is why you see there's a shift. This is why you see things are shifting. Let it just be Hollywood, or you feel it. Like speaking of that what we saw in 2024 is literally just the tip of the iceberg. It's going to blow your mind, the names, and my God have shown me some people, and it's just like, child, there's about 4 people that's going to blow our mind, because we would have never, ever, 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 ever thought like they would be involved in some foolishness, honey. But it is literally the rise of the underdog. So those of you, which is typically probably chosen people, empath, things like that, those of you who feel like life have literally give you the short end of the stick, and you really deserve great things because you were a great person, etc., etc. This is your season. But again, just because God have blessings for you, it doesn't mean you're going to receive it, because everything that we're speaking about, having the wrong people, having the wrong this, that, and the third, other things we're going to speak about going forward in this message, just because God has it for you, you have to be in alignment to receive it. But this is your season. It's like it's going to be times 20. It's almost like, like when you turn your phone off, like maybe you're in a flight or something like that, and when you power the phone back on, like the text message just kind of like start coming back to back, back to back. That's how these blessings are going to be. Make sure you are in alignment to receive. Next thing, follow your gut. Follow your intuition. This is not the time to be slipping on gut feelings. I was reading a comment from a young lady who said something in reference to, she was actually going to go out to the same area in New Orleans, but she said something in her spirit just would not settle, and she decided to stay home. Listen, this ain't the I feel like that with Walmart, right? Again, like I just don't like all the empath in me, all that it's too much energy. So I don't like going into Walmart. So typically if I have to go, I'll go early mornings, that type of thing. But there's been times that I've been in Walmart parking lot and my spirit just would not settle. And I was like, okay, is this the anxiety of the empath in me, or is this my gut feeling? Like, because listen, people are going to be targeting places where there are large crowds, right? So, and I'm not saying anything about Walmart, guys. So don't personally, I will run into like a Walgreens or something like that, because just if you're somewhere, I don't even care if you're rushing, pump the brakes. Right? Follow your gut feeling. And this can be in that instance or what God is telling you about a person. This is not the time for us to be slipping because we're too spiritually sensitive. We're too spiritually sensitive to be slipping with gut feelings. Follow your gut. Next thing. Stop trusting with emotions and watching people's actions. Again, sensitive ones, right? We're very emotional. So we listen, you just can't be out here trusting people. The people that you trust in your life, that list should be so small that you can get it in one hand. You just can't be out here trusting people. But we got it bad, right? Stop trusting based on your emotions and watch people's actions. What are they doing to show you that they're trustworthy? What is their past character? If they've wronged 1,000 people before you, I mean, will they just change their character one day because of you? Let people build trust. Trust has to be built literally over time. Next thing, especially now, because listen, we're not in a time where we can be trying to process soul ties and emotional ties and all that stuff like that. Like, no, we got to have a clear mind. We got to have a clear spirit so we can hear the things that the Holy Spirit is trying to get to us. Like, that's the one way the enemy is going to target you. He's going to send people that's going to disappoint you, who's going to break your heart. Now you're tied up in this emotional place. You're trying to filter because you got to process that stuff. Got to process it. Like, nobody got time for that nonsense. Like, listen, the first time you're out, point blank period. First time you're out. Nobody got time for that foolishness, right? Nobody got time for that foolishness. If you haven't learned by now in 2024, you are out on the first issue. Okay, next thing. Next thing, no dead weights. Listen, chosen ones, y'all already know. We be having black trash bags of dead weights, right? Before we're the healed empath, if you will, right? Dragging everybody along, right? I'll never will I forget, about 15 years ago, I had this list. All right, I had this list of people because I already knew God was going to take me higher because just being the visionary I am. I had a list of people that I was going to, when I make it, I'm going to have with me and I'm going to take care of them. Honey, I had over 60 people. I had over 60 people. 60. Oh my goodness. And I might have 3 now. Child, stop carrying dead weights. That is our hearts, right? That's our emotions, empath, right? We want to help and save, right? And 95% of the time, they're going to be the same ones who betray you in one way or another, who don't have your back one way or another, who's going to crash out one way. Listen, this is our time to focus on that self-preservation. No dead weights. Reciprocity is a must. Again, reciprocity doesn't mean they bring to the table exactly what you bring to the table, but they got to bring something to the table. They got to bring something to the table. No dead weights. It's going to hold you back from how God wants to use you in this new year, in this new season. Next. Ooh, somebody about to get hit. I had to do this. I did this about 5 years ago. And when I did it, honey, God blessed my life so much. It's like barriers were just knocked down one after another once I did this. Somebody about to get hit And it's going to require you to remove all of your pride aside. But I promise you, well, I can't promise you, that's between you and God. I promise you, when I did it, honey, blessings just poured in. If you have hurt or wronged somebody, it doesn't matter if it was 30 years ago. If God is convicting you right now, or if God have convicted you before about this, you got to go back and apologize. You got to go back and make it right. I don't care if you were 17, whatever it was. Go back, apologize, go back, make it right. Even if that person don't receive the apology, because I don't know, maybe you have hurt them like really, really, really bad. That wasn't my case. It was something petty, right? But still, right? Even if that person is not to a place where they can receive your apology, God will honor your apology. Many blessings are literally this coming up right now. That same person who's hurting you right now, girl, that same chick who is dragging you right now, don't forget about that chick you dragged back in 1996. You now know what that hurt feels like because you're going through it. So now you know what that hurt felt like for her or for him. And you're trying to figure out, I don't understand. I'm living for the Lord. God. Whew, I promise you, I'm not laughing at your pain. I'm literally like seeing a person walking around with pamphlets. Oh my God. You're living for the Lord, honey. Right? You are an usher, honey. You got the tambourine. You got your Stacey Adams in your slippery church socks, honey. You living for the Lord, so you can't understand why in the world God is punishing you with this person who is breaking your heart, honey. Honey, you done break 35,000 people's heart, didn't apologize, didn't make it right. And now you're trying to figure out, why is the devil attacking you? Cassie, next topic. Whew, I had to pay you a moment. Go back, seriously, guys, go back and make it right. Because I promise you, I had to do this. I did not, but God had made it very clear to me that if I didn't do it, I would be blocking some blessings. So I had to move my pride aside, as hard as that was. But let me just tell you, this person received it because I didn't know this person had gotten spiritually inclined as well. So when the person is spiritually inclined, they are going to be able to receive it and they're going to forgive you. And in fact, what's going to happen a lot of the times, God is going to make it, well, not all the time. I don't know. I know for me, he's going to make it where you and that person end up connecting in some way spiritually, that they're going to be a part of your life. In a different way, not meaning like romantic way, or they come back, nothing like that. But I don't know. All right, next one. Ooh, child. Next one. Appreciate and celebrate the good people in your life. You probably don't have a lot, honey, because there's not a lot of good people in the world. You might have 2 or 3 good people. I'm talking about like people that honestly God have sent you, and these are truly good people. These are people who will have your back when you are down, when you have absolutely nothing. These people won't judge you. They may, give you wise counsel, and you may feel convicted, if you will, but they're not going to judge you about it. They're going to like love on you for truly who you are. Like they really want the best for you. Like they always show up when they can. These are truly like good, honestly, good people. But a lot of the times what happens with good people is you kind of put them to the background because it's almost like the people who aren't good people, you're so busy trying to monitor them, or they got this going on. And then the good ones truly get put to the background. Right. So when God convicts you about something like that, like I do that with my staff all the time. Like, honestly, like they get bonuses all the time because it's like, well, like, because they're good peoples, truly. Right. Just in general, if you got good people in your life, celebrate and honor good people. Because let me just tell you something. You mess around and lose some good people for whatever reason, it's going to be a long time, if ever, if God send you another one. Honor good people in your life. A great way to do that is let go of those dead weights. Let go of people who just brings nothing, no reciprocity. That way you can go ahead and have a very, very small circle of good people. Next thing, get serious about your legacy. Get serious about your legacy. Did God tell you to write a book? Are you supposed to have, even if it's just a personal book for your family, where they can have the blueprint of maybe something that you're currently working on that's going to be that you may need to have them piggyback off in the next season, right? Start getting your stuff in order, your life insurance policies, right? All that GoFundMe. Never mind. Let me leave that one alone. Right? Like start getting things in order, because listen, we are in some crazy times. And I had this dream. God showed me a clear, of course, just a clear glimpse. I mean, it was so clear of the other side, if you will, or I don't know. I don't want to say it was heaven or if it's just the next, I don't know, but it was so beautiful. And it's almost like we're sitting here worried about our loved one, or we missing. They wouldn't want to come back if they could, right? So the point I'm making here is we got to get to the point where we start leaving things in order, where, because honey, people is leaving here. Like I almost question, like, I mean, are we in the rapture and nobody, like, we all don't even know about it? Like that type of thing, because people are leaving here left to right, left to right, left to right. But it's more busy on the other side than it is here. It's almost like we're the stragglers. We're the stragglers because we're the chosen ones. We got work to do, right? They're good over there. We're over here straggling because we're called, we're chosen. There are specific assignments for us to do in this season. Next thing. More gratitude. More gratitude. Even though we are in this very, very difficult season right now, again, everybody I know is going through something. We got to get to the point where we start to focus on the things that we are grateful for, right? Because listen, it's easy to wake up complaining, right? Sometimes I have to catch myself, and I'm not one to complain. Like I'm truly am a grateful. I appreciate the small detail of things, but then there's times like I'll wake up on a certain day and it's dreary outside, and I'm just like, Lord, like, you know what, right? And I'll find myself complaining, and then I'll get convicted, and I'm like, you know what? Let me get myself together, because truth of the matter is, the stuff we've been through, most people would have lost their minds. Period. Right? The kind of attacks that the chosen one takes, most people would have lost their mind. Many people have lost their minds. We're still in our right minds. Somebody right now is in the hospital getting a limb amputated, right? Like, so we could, and I'm trying to make a point here. I mean, I get it. Life is tough. Like, I don't care what somebody's life look like. Life is tough, period. So we got to start being more grateful for the small things. And that helps you when you have one of those days like that. Just start literally calling out, God, thank you that I'm in my right mind. Thank you that I have all working limbs. Thank you that I'm not in the hospital. Thank you that I'm not in jail. Thank you. Like, just start calling things out, and it will like really change your perspective, and it will help lift your spirit for that day. So we got to start being more grateful, myself included. Next one, leave, all caps, leave folks alone who mistreat you. Whatever that way of mistreating is, leave these folks behind. If you're being mistreated, you got to get to a place. When I typed this one in my notepad, I felt it, that somebody was going to feel this. Like, listen, whoever you are, I feel like it's a good sis. Right? You struggle immensely with confidence, self-esteem, people pleasing. Like, you really don't know who you are. You've been beaten down so bad. And this started like from childhood, right? You just never went through a healing season. Nobody ever, caught on to it to assist you, things like that. So you went into this relationship or this marriage broken. I mean, and when I say, listen, we all have our stuff. Like we all go through seasons where it's our down season. I'm talking about broken so bad that you can't even see the way up. So anybody that comes into your life who beats you, who cheat on you, who whatever it may be, you can't even leave. And so you feel your only option is to cry, beg, plead. Sis, he ain't hearing you. He's not hearing you. Bro, she's not hearing you. Like we want to think that when we cry and we plead and we beg and people don't care. We got to get to the point where we understand that chosen ones, we're so rare. People don't care when they hurt us. This is why you don't move like you do, chosen one, because you're very cautious about the way you move because you don't want to hurt people, even when they're not around. You don't want to hurt them, but you're rare. He needs some action, sis. You got to listen. You got to leave. You got to walk. We have to learn to walk and leave people when they mistreat us. But again, I get it. It takes a certain level of confidence and right. But you got to get there. And in order for you to get there, you're going to have to take the first step is to take that first step, trusting God. Leave broken. Leave with no place to go. God, well, not literally, but you get my point here. God will take care of you. Go to that shelter. You mess around at that shelter, you meet somebody who puts you in a whole apartment because it's the favor on your life. Many times we cannot heal in the very environment that has traumatized us. So God will have to separate it many a times, work on you. You can't be afraid to be alone, right? And even if you are, the whole point is God is going to love on you so much in that separation season that you will never in your life feel alone again. Take the first step. You deserve better. It's going to be the only way God is going to give you what you need and what you deserve. Take the first. Ask the Holy Spirit, what is the direction? What is the first step? When he give it to you, don't sit here trying to say, well, I need 50,000 more confirmations. Or I need to see it. Like, I need to see where I'm going to land. Like, I need to already see the whole house. I need to see the furniture. I need to feel that I need to see the new man. No, take the step. Take the step. I can't get up off of this. Take the step. It's not going to get any better. People respect. One thing that I'll say, women right now, women got to understand this. I don't care what some men say about strong women or this, that, and the third. Men will respect you more when you have boundaries. Men will respect you more when you leave their behind. I don't care what they say. I don't care if they move on to 30,000 people. They will never forget you because you're rare. You got to give people consequences. You cheat, I almost say something. Your behind is gone for life, period. You got to give people actions. You got to walk. Stop letting people beat you up and play with you and play in your face all kind of way. Do you know who you are? Even if you're in a down season, this is just a season. These people will regret losing you, but you got to walk, sis. You're too strong for this. Do it for your kids. And a lot of you guys had parents, mothers who accepted like a lot of stuff. So it's kind of like just your conditioning, right? But you're chosen. You answered the call. So you go against the grain. Chosen one go against the grain. Excuse me. You do things differently. You can't go with the flow. That's why your life is so difficult, because you're going against the grain. You got to break this cycle from your children. You don't want your children, like people say things like, well, my children don't do what I do what I say or something. But they're watching that. If you don't do it for nobody else, do it for your kids. And when God heals you and God brings that man, like all caps, that man, honey, you're going to kick yourself about the time you gave. Don't even worry about that, right? Don't even like think about that, but just take the first step. Ask God for strength. Ask God for grace. Ask God for insight. Ask God for direction. When he give it to you, move fast, because the enemy will get right in your head. But no, if you leave, whatever. The enemy will get in your head, honey. Just rebuke his behind and keep it moving. Next thing. Two, actually. Everyone is not your assignment, including your family. Everyone is not your assignment, including your family. Y'all already know we be picking up assignments. We be picking up random assignments, honey. Right? Everybody is not your assignment. God will make it clear to you who your assignments are. And also when it's an assignment, you're going to see the fruit. God will send people to help, right? God will make provisions for that thing. It won't overburden you because there's grace on it. But when you're dealing with people who are not your assignments, honey, you're going to be worn to the pulp, right? It's going to be depleting you in every single area. There's no help. That's why a lot of us right now are broken down. We're picking up assignments, and Lord, have I been guilty. And I have to really be disciplined to be sure I don't even do that, right? Because I almost picked up one a couple of days ago, and I heard God say, clear as day, right? I told you to do this. You do this, and that's that. Here you are trying to overindulge. Do this one thing. I got other people I'm going to use behind you. Stop trying to take on the whole assignment, right? Right? So this is why we have to be so tapped in. Last one. Stop discounting yourself and settling. If people can't come up to your level and meet your demands, this is what I require. You want to be in my life? This is what I require. The first time you cheat, your behind is out. Excuse me, Lord. I'm not settling. This is my requirement. Now, I'm not speaking about, listen, because some of y'all got some stuff on them list that don't. Right? Nobody's talking about that, right? Well, I mean, do what you do. Keep your list. I'm speaking about certain things that you have in place that demands respect, right? Here are the boundaries. Here are this. Here are that. If you cross the line one time, you're out. Period. I'm not going to have these conversations after the fact. We're going to have a meeting of the minds prior. That way you can't say you didn't know. Do not discount yourself. Don't settle because you feel like you're 75, right? Which is still very young. You feel like you're 75 and you got to settle for this man because whatever reasons, right? Whatever. But God didn't send him. You just want to settle for him because whatever reason you want to settle. Don't settle. You're going to trust and you're going to wait on God. If God says he have a particular thing for you, then you wait on that thing. Don't just take the first thing smoking just because it's available. Period. My good sis, stop taking proposals. And I can't tell you how many, well, I can't say I can't tell you. I've turned down several proposals. Like, you just don't take proposals just because. Just because they say you should be married. No. You wait on the person that God has for you. I don't care if you're 87 when it happens. You wait on the person that God has sent and ordained specifically for your life. Not because you want a man because you're lonely. Not because your homegirl just got married. Not because the world said, child, the world is miserable. Play with them people if you want. The world is miserable. Do what works for you, honey. Wait on God. But stop settling and stop discounting yourself. You come with it or you get going. Point blank period. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.